Mitch Trubisky takes the snap, three-man sugar rush, nothing really brewing. He goes back to throw, zings it deep, up in the air, and it is intercepted. Trubisky in the gun, back to his right, receiver each way, takes the snap. Here comes the pressure. Ball knocked out of his hands as he went back in the drop, and it's picked up by the Vikings to the end zone and a touchdown for Iffy Adedabo, the Northwestern product. The scoop and score off the sack.
We have some Trubisky news on this May 4th. May the 4th be with you. I can't believe I didn't start the show like that. I kind of forgot because I never know which day it is. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tee up a current NFL topic that you need to know on this Monday, May 4th. And you guys tell me whether eventually the light side or the dark side will be used to unravel and come to a solution. Now, I can't believe the jokes that are probably going to happen in this segment, but before we even get to anything, can you tell me a little something about Star Wars, Peter? Like, what's an Ewok? Give me a little something.
An Ewok is a gremlin that lives with flying planes out in the woods. I've never seen Star Wars. I'll see it eventually. I had the toys. Okay, let's do some segments.
That's pretty much it.
Okay, here we go. Remember, once you start down the dark path, gentlemen, forever it will dominate your destiny. Let's start with Mitchell Trubisky, our guy. Tom Pelissero reported over the weekend that the Bears will decline his fifth-year option. So is Trubisky going to handle this from the light side, meaning he's going to, use it as that chip on his shoulder, as some motivation, or Kyle from the dark side, meaning it's going to strip him entirely of his confidence?
A gremlin that lives in the woods with, quote, flying planes, Peter? This is light side stuff here. Major light side. I'm going to say Obi-Wan Trubisky. The Jedi's basically speaking a bunch of nonsense cliches, and they're full of crap, and Obi-Wan lies to Luke about the death of his father. Guys, wait till you see this quarterback competition between Foles and Trubisky, and all of the golly gee cliches about how motivated we are, and already the Bears coaching staff is saying, well, we love the response from the two of them when we told it. It's going to be so much positivity and so much motivation. I just hope there's a speck of actual Metacalorian good football play, because that's what we really need. But oh my God, is it going to be positive?
I feel like this is the light side. I don't feel like Mitchell Trubisky is going to be in a position where he feels stressed out. And I know that seems kind of counterproductive in a sense when you think about how guys put pressure on themselves or organizations put pressure on themselves. But if you think about Mitchell Trubisky over the last 4 years, he's been playing as if he was under the microscope. He was sitting there in certain games. You would think to yourself, are you relaxed? Are you having fun? Now, if they're not exercising that fifth-year option, then you can go out there and play free. You literally can play the most stress-free football you've played since you've entered the league. And I feel like with him getting this news, we'll see a different type of Mitchell Trubisky on the field. He needs to use this as motivation, like feed into it, just like you can't feed Ewoks after midnight, right, Peter?
Ewoks, no, Gremlins, Nate. I know the movie Gremlins. The movie Gremlins is fantastic. Guys, really, the truth is Star Wars is just a classic tale of good versus evil. And let me explain in my thesis statement here. No, I'm going to go to Trubisky on this one. And the issue here is that here comes Nick Foles. The fans seem to want Nick Foles. The coaching staff has so many connections to Nick Foles. Between Matt Nagy, John DeFilippo, and Bill Lazor, all the offensive coaches that are going to be in the quarterback's ear, they all have experience with Foles from other stops. So, I don't know if he's going to get the investment from the coaching staff on this one. I don't know if he's got the fan base in his corner. It goes from being you're the prize pick and the guy who took us to the playoffs and we're Super Bowl contenders last year to now maybe not even the coaching staff's darling and certainly not the fan base's darling. He could go dark real soon here. This is going to be a real test of his inner strength and his mental toughness.
Well said, our guy Ryan Pace under a lot of pressure here in 2020. Okay, really well done. And you're so good at BSing through Star Wars stuff, Schrags. I'm really proud and impressed by you.
Yep.
Let's talk now about Patrick Mahomes. So there have been some questions about what the Chiefs are doing with Mahomes and reaching a long-term deal with their Super Bowl MVP and regular season from the year previous MVP out there in Kansas City. Here's what he had to say, Patrick Mahomes, about a potential deal himself.
For me, I think I've been in a unique situation where I've grown up getting to see a lot of guys go through contracts and doing a lot of different things and having an understanding of how it all works. For me, obviously, I want to be a Chief for a long time. I want to have a contract that says that and that I can go out there and know that I have that security and everything like that. But I understand and trust the Chiefs organization and everybody in it that they're going to handle it the right way.
Schrags, I'm going to assume that there's no way he doesn't get broke off, like really broke off, like tops of the tops at quarterback. So is it eventually going to be light side or dark side? Light side meaning that, you know, Mahomes is going to somehow still make it easy to win again, because we've seen how it goes sometimes, playing the quarterback, sort of hamstringing what you can do with the rest of the salary cap. Or will it be dark side that's going to make things harder due to the salary cap implications?
Yeah, this is when it gets interesting. Mahomes has done all this stuff on a rookie's contract, and now at some point you got to pay the piper. And this offseason, a lot of people thought there was going to be a mass exodus from Kansas City, and yet here we are, and 20 of 22 starters return. And that includes guys like Demarcus Robinson, who we were certain was going to sign somewhere else, or Sammy Watkins, who we assumed had to restructure or get cut or traded. No, they all came back. And if Chris Jones comes back, it seems like we might have a thing here where it's not just one championship, but maybe another, maybe another, maybe another. In which I would say this: I don't know how Mahomes' negotiations are going. I'm sure the Chiefs want to take care of him. I would be interested to see how Mahomes wants to handle this. Does he want to get the top dollar and do it by a landslide? Or is he happy just being respected as a top quarterback in this league and continue to be a champion so he can pay some of the other guys on this team?
This is very, very, very dark side. This is a Mustafar system, as Anakin's lower half of his body is melting off and he's turning into the devil. This is dark, guys. You know the list of guys, of quarterbacks who are making over $20 million who have won a Super Bowl? It's real short. It says Tom and it says Brady, and there's going to have to be some brilliant front office managing from the Chiefs between Veach and Reed. If Mahomes is going to make that much to just bring in cheap labor every single year, and popular names are going to go and new ones are going to have to come in. They're going to have to be absolute savants managing contracts if Mahomes gets what Mahomes can get. So I think it's going to make it very difficult to win multiple championships. But Nate, I'm interested in your thoughts. I thought we already had a dark side, light side segment. It was called 2-point conversing. Am I wrong?
Okay.
You're right about that, KB. That's pretty much the basis of the show. Listen, what you're saying is right, KB. When it comes to quarterbacks that have been paid, you mentioned quarterbacks that kind of hamstrung their organizations. Aaron Rodgers, he played so well that he had to get broke off. Has he won a Super Bowl after getting the big-time deal? No. Russell Wilson, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. Have they won a Super Bowl after getting a big deal? No.
Nah.
So is Pat Mahomes going to sit back and look at the organization and say, pay me everything, and you guys are going to have to basically nickel and dime and provide me with skill players like the Patriots do? I believe he will, because that's the name of the game. I do feel like Pat Mahomes will have the closest thing to a baseball contract. I'm talking 5 years, $200 million, $40 million per. That's going to go down. He'll be the first to reset the market on a mass level. I guarantee it.
Got to keep that roster intact. Well said, guys. We're going to go back and talk about those Dallas Cowboys. If you have some Star Wars things, please tweet them at PShrags. He loves that stuff. He's on the blogs. He's doing all that stuff. Yeah, for now, we're going to make like a circumcised mosquito and get out of here. We will be back to get inside the head of one Jerry Jones after this.